Building a team to last. 5 keys. The saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, have a team. And there's a lot of truth to that. I'm Arthur Petropoulos, managing partner here at Hillview Partners. We're a middle market, lower middle market M&A and capital advisory firm, helping companies generating $1 million to $10 million in pre-tax earnings or EBITDA, sell their companies and secure capital. So in the process of building a team, and we've seen it with hundreds and hundreds of companies, as we are with our own company, attempting to grow the optimal team that we possibly can, it's really boiled down to 5 key items that we've seen emphasized in successful businesses that do build successful teams. So today we want to walk through those. So number 1, hire slow, fire fast. As my grandfather used to say, measure twice, cut once. Right? Be slow to evaluate, to really find that the person is going to be the right person, that they bring the right intelligence, work ethic, values, persona, energy, however you want to look at it, to your team, and do that slowly and find the right person for the position. But similarly, if someone has given you proof that they are not that person once they are in the position over enough period of time, you need to hire fast. I interviewed Henry Kravis, the founder of KKR, once, and they said, what was your biggest regret? And he said, my biggest regret is that when there was a bad thing, we didn't end the bad thing soon enough. We didn't fire the person quick enough. And I think the other saying that my wife's told me in the past was, if someone shows you who they really are, believe them. And so as much as we want to give everybody second, third, and fourth chances, and nobody's perfect, ourselves included, and we want to make sure that we give ample opportunity to learn a position and do things effectively, if ultimately it's not the right fit, it needs to be ended quickly. So again, hire slow, fire fast. Number 2, hire people smarter than you, particularly within their subject matter, right? And so if you are the owner of a business, if you're running a business, if you're the manager, CEO, whatever your role is, you have to think of it as somewhat of a meta skill in the sense that you must know a good amount about a lot of things. So in order to do that, you have to be, call it a 7 or an 8 out of 10 in every field. However, when you are hiring people for those respective fields, you want 10s out of 10s. Make it someone that's smarter than you in whether it's marketing, fulfillment, operations, administration, product development, whatever the case may be. In whatever you're hiring, find someone that knows more about it than you. Because if you only hire people that don't know as much as you or know a certain amount, then the overall quality of the business can never exceed your own capabilities. And the sign of a great business is one that in time exceeds the capacity or capabilities of any one individual within the company. Now again, you're not going to find that for every single angle, and that's what makes you relevant as the CEO or owner of the business, is that you are the 8 out of 10 in every category. But for other people, you can hire 10s out of 10s in certain things that could be 4 out of 10s in another, so long as that subject matter expertise or that knowledge or wisdom in the particular sliver of the business that that person is operating is elite level. Number 3, acknowledge. When I used to play basketball as a kid, my dad would always tell me, if someone gives you an assist and you take the layup and score, point to the guy after the fact. Acknowledge. Acknowledge when someone has done something good for you. And the same goes in business. I was joking with someone the other day, and we had a laugh over the concept that if something goes bad, you hear about it, and if something goes well, you just hear silence. So deafening silence in business can sometimes be the greatest indicator that things are going in the right direction, and that shouldn't necessarily be the case. And if you go back to the Dale Carnegie, there's old examples, new examples, acknowledge those that do the right thing. Point them out publicly, be loud about it, be proud about it, be expressive about it to the extent that even some of our hardened souls can here. But that's the idea in business. Acknowledge when someone does a good job, and you'll see the encouragement will become a self-fulfilling prophecy towards more productivity and more desire to improve and to contribute to the business. Number 4, have the hard conversations. Most things we want in life sit behind a handful of hard conversations. So, and this ties back a little bit to the hire, slow, fire, fast concept, but if you were going to fire somebody, the only time where we'd say that's a preemptive move is in particular when there haven't been hard conversations. So if performance is not where you want it to be, if certain things aren't happening, is it a problem with the person not doing the things, or is it a problem with you not giving the person good enough instructions or clear enough hurdles, clear enough kind of paths to pursue? And those honest conversations can elucidate or bring to light some of those things. So if you sit someone down and say, listen, it's not an easy conversation here, but we're not where we want to be, this is where we want to be, why aren't we getting there? Then if they turn around and say, well, I really just don't feel like there's adequate guidance in terms of what needs to be done. I don't have a clear thing. I can chop trees down. I just need to know which trees to chop. And that may be true or not, and you have to suss that out. But it's those difficult conversations. It's the polishing of the diamond. It's what kind of grinds things down to a smooth stone. And so you cannot avoid those. So if in your gut, soul, whatever you'd like to say, you feel like, oh, you know what, there's really that conversation that needs to be had with this person, this team member, just do it. You'll be better off for it. Frank conversation is oftentimes the catalyst towards progress. Lastly, be the leader that you would want to work for. So it's easy to tell everybody what to do, but if you were in their shoes and you were looking upward and saying, who is the person in charge of this? Who is the general of this army? Is that someone I want to follow? Is that someone I want to be loyal to? And that's a hard question to answer and look in the mirror and contemplate, because I think lying to ourselves is more ingrained than lying to others. And so you can look in there and say, well, I'm just the greatest person in the world and everyone should love me and work really hard for me. But in reality, are you the type of leader that people want to work for? Are you actually leading the team into battle, or are you just over-delegating so that you can avoid all discomfort, right? If you're just dumping all the discomfort of the business onto everyone around you, you can allocate tasks, you can delegate things, you can say, look, I'm going to take this an inch with you and you have to take it the rest of the foot. That's fine. You don't have to fight every single battle. But whether it was Napoleon or elsewise, be the person on the horse on the front of the army running into battle, and you will gain a lot of respect. And I think in addition to that is, don't ask people to do things you wouldn't do. And I think sometimes that statement gets stopped there preemptively. It's not don't ask people to do things that you have not done, but don't ask people to do things you wouldn't do and don't continue to do. And so what I mean by that is, if you say, hey, everyone's got to stay late until 11 o'clock to get this thing done, and everyone gripes about it, and you say, you know what, when I was 29 years old, I used to do that all the time. And they say, yeah, but you're 50 now, so who cares, right? It's all history. You don't have to do it all the time, but you have to do it often, even if for just symbolic purposes. If the whole team's going to be there until midnight, buy the pizzas, be sitting there, do what you can, lead, encourage, and people will say, look, this guy, this girl, they're in the trenches with us here, and we are encouraged to get things done. Now, if you think of kind of the collective memory of people, I mean, think of it like a paper towel tube, right? Whatever you push in on one side, it's going to push stuff out the other side. So there's really only a fairly moderate time frame in which anyone's going to remember anything. And so if someone says, I need you to do work all weekend to get these things done, just like I used to, if someone says, yeah, but you haven't done that in 20 years, they don't have the same respect. They don't care. You know, history is prologue. It doesn't matter. But if they said, you know what, that person was doing that just 3 weeks ago, last month, so I can do it too, that's going to create the encouragement that's necessary to get the results, to get people excited to execute, and to build ultimately the best team. So that's the thought for today. Let's run through those one more time. What are the 5 keys to building a team that will last? Number 1, hire slow, fire fast. Number 2, hire people smarter than you are in their respective fields. Number 3, acknowledge. Number 4, have the hard conversations. And number 5, be the leader you'd want to work for. Now, we've seen many, many businesses. As mentioned, we're obviously continuing to grow our own. And over time, these are really the 5 secrets, or the 5 tells, if you will, that if 95% of a business is exactly the same, these will be differentiators of who has the best team, the most durable team, the most productive team, the most loyal team. And ultimately, it is the team that will grow and promulgate the success of the business. So that's the thought for today. Hope the week's getting off to a good start for everyone. Keep pushing forward. God bless. We'll see you next time.